But if you want to live in these areas, you got to do it in a more resilient fashion. You got to mitigate your homes. You've got to understand why we ask you to evacuate. And every day we've got to figure out how to make this country more financially resilient. A lot of people can't put their hands on $500. Therefore, they're not properly insured. They're not spending the money to mitigate, or they're moving to areas where they've never experienced a Category 4 storm. And very few people have ever experienced a Cat 4, Cat 5 storm. I mean, we've only had 3 Cat 5s hit since 1851. Labor Day storm of 35, Andrew in 92, and Camille in 69. So, people often behave based on their past experience. But when these things happen, we learn, and what I'm afraid of is hurricane amnesia. 10 years is going to go by and we're going to forget what happened in Mexico Beach. So how do we build a culture of preparedness? FEMA tries to do it every year, but a lot of people don't pay attention to anything that we do or say when it's a blue sky day and nothing's happening. People only focus the camera on us after big events like this. And that's the frustrating part of being FEMA administrator, or the people that dedicate their lives to trying to get people to understand these hazards. So you guys help me. How do we learn from this and move forward in a more resilient fashion and stop the vicious cycle of damage and destruction, time and time again? How do we rebuild this coastline or areas that are constantly devastated by flooding to a more resilient fashion? Now, something that was very transformational that occurred last week. Congress proactively approved the Disaster Recovery Reform Act. In that, it made pre-disaster mitigation a priority. 12 testimonies I've been crying for pre-disaster mitigation to be a priority. Congress did.